First, a moment of silence for all the ESL speakers like moi, whose tongue will fall out trying to pronounce the name of this goddamn book. Red, white, oh god, this video is gonna be fun. Hi everybody, Carla here. This is my fandom vlog where I talk about my fandoms or about fandom in general. And today I have a video that's been a bit of a long time coming. I finished this book in February. It's been like 2 months and I kept it on my shelf because I was always like, I have to do a review, It's even still like marked as reading, like currently reading on like Goodreads and Storygraph. It's taken me so long to make this video. It's ridiculous, but I didn't want to not do it because, like, you know, I'm already like 3 years late to this fandom anyway. So I didn't want to wait any longer, but I kind of had to because, you know, classes started and it got crazy, so I had to put it off, but I still wanted to do it because I did enjoy this book a lot. So here it is, my impressions of Casey McQuiston's Red, White, and Royal Blue. I don't know if you know this, but I am a huge fan of young royals. So there might be a little bit of overlap between the two fandoms of the young royals fandom and the Red, White, and Royal Blue fandom, which, by the way, the stupid royal in the name, it's the worst decision you can, like, English speakers, please do not use the word royal on your title. It's unpronounceable. It's so hard to pronounce, I'm sorry. Royal. Okay, so there's a lot of actual overlap between the Young Royals fandom and the Red, White, and Royal Blue fandom. And I had only watched Young Royals, fell into a deep hole for it, like you might be able to guess from my recent videos, I guess, and have been obsessed with that show for like months now, like almost a year. And the thing is, when I was reading fanfic, I noticed there were a lot of crossovers with Red, White, and Royal Blue, and I knew nothing about Red. I mean, I'd heard about the book, but I didn't know any details, you know. But because I'm a dumbass, generally speaking, and I don't care about spoilers, I went ahead and read all the fic. I just read all the crossovers, even though I had no idea what Red, White, and Royal Blue was about. Like, the plot itself, like, I knew no details, but I still went in. So yeah, I read all the crossover fics because I'm a dumbass. So basically, I figured out, or slash, you know, was spoiled the entire plot of Red, White, and Royal Blue just from reading Young Royals fanfic. So after a while, I kind of figured, you know, I might as well read this book, right? And I was gonna put it off because I have like a really long to read list, and it turned out that my fellow Young Royal fans are very intense about Red, White, and Royal Blue, as you might imagine. So, you know, I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll give in to peer pressure. So I went ahead and bought the book and I read it, and I really liked it. So, like, it's not like a bad thing that I gave in to peer pressure this one time. I actually found something I enjoyed. So today I'm gonna do a quick review, hopefully quick. I hope I'm not talking about this for an hour, but a quick review of Casey McQuiston's Red, White, and Royal Blue with its unpronounceable title. Oh my god. Because I actually really enjoyed it, and I just want to be really quick. Honestly, I started reading this book around the time the war in Ukraine started, and for me, I don't I don't even know how to say this, but I'm really into escapism. You know, I like light stuff. I don't read or watch movies or like watch TV shows to suffer. I don't like that. So I try to stay away from like the really emotional roller coastery stuff. And I feel like this was the perfect read for the perfect moment for me, because it's very sweet. You know what I mean? Like, it's a rom-com basically, and it does have its dramatic emotional moments for sure, but it's not like angst throughout. It's pretty superficial, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I know I'm gonna get bashed when I say this. It's not meant to be deep, like philosophical recollections or whatever. It's just a story about two people falling in love, and I love it for this. It's exactly what I needed at the exact right time. And you know, when the world sucks, I just like step away from it for a bit, and I feel like this book was really, really good in that sense. I'm not gonna say like it made me believe in love or whatever. Like, it's not that deep. I wanted not deep in that moment, and this really, really helped. There's also the fact that I really enjoyed the characters. Like, I love Henry so much. This is so weird, because like I have nothing in common with Henry. Like, he's completely different from me probably, but I love him. I'm a little bit more like Alex, I think. Not exactly a lot necessarily, but I feel like I have more in common with him, like that bit of sass and that sarcastic streak and stuff, and the desire to like do good, you know, like be a good person, do the best for humanity that you can. I'm not in politics, thank God, because politics sucks out your soul, but I enjoy, you know, following it. So I like to think I'm somewhat civically minded, I guess. Not really. I haven't voted in a while because I haven't been home for elections, I think in the last 2 cycles or something. But I get really invested in like the small details of that. And I think I'm a little bit like Alex at that point. I would like to think I'm not as clueless as Alex is, because it's so funny. I was reading the book and I started reading it, and then he started talking about like how he was straight, and I was like, wait I was like 2 chapters in or something. I was like, wait a second, you're trying to tell me that he doesn't actually know that he likes dudes? I was so like, I was so sure that he knew. And I told you guys I had no idea what this book was about other than what I gleaned from the Young Royals fandom. So I thought he knew. Like, I was completely sure that he knew. And then he started having his gay crisis. And I was like, are you freaking kidding? Like, I have known since before I bought this thing. How do you not know? Like, it was so funny. So yeah, I'd like to think I'm not as clueless as he is, though I don't like to analyze myself necessarily, so I kind of get it up to a point. But it was so funny that I'm sitting there and I get to like chapter 2 or something, and then he starts talking about being straight, and I'm like, wait, it's like record scratch. Like, what? Wait, you're telling me that you don't know? Because I knew from like the first chapter. Are you kidding me? It was hilarious. But then that leads me to, like, I think my favorite character in the book was probably Nora, but that's because, listen, I do not understand how Casey McQuiston plucked me from where I am currently and just dropped me in her book, okay? Because Nora is me. You have no idea, like, it was uncanny. Like, I would get chills. Every reaction she had. Like, the only difference is that Nora is very stats minded. Like, she's a nerd for like political stats and sort of things like that. I'm in science. That's like the only difference. But like, basically, I am Nora and Nora is me, and it's unfreaking canny. Okay, every reaction she had, I was like, dear Lord, how is this character me? It was incredible. So I adore Nora. I love her. I really liked Alex as well, and I liked Bia. I love Bia. she needs, like, I wish she had been around more. I really like Leah. But I do think my favorite was Henry. Not because I relate to him in any way, because I really don't. Like, I'm not like him at all. But I'm just drawn to him. That's the thing, I guess. Sometimes I'm drawn to characters that are just nothing like me. And Henry's sort of like that. And I adore Henry. He's just adorable. He's so sweet. And the thing about media focusing on LGBTQ relationships is that the plot, the arc of it, sometimes takes over and we don't get enough of the feelings of it all. Like, they get so involved with the, like, say you have a plot where someone is outed. It all sort of revolves around that. And we don't get enough of the individual moments that lead us to that show us the character's thought process and feelings throughout it all, you know? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, I don't think. I mean, I wish we could just be like, let's not do outing storylines anymore, because I do think people in the LGBT community deserve to have stories written about them that are not about being outed at all, that are not about being, you know, in pain at all. Like, we can't have, like, joyous LGBTQ stories, and that's good. And this was an outing storyline, of course, and, you know, a lot of the drama is about Henry coming out, of course, and Alex coming out, though Alex, I guess he had a little bit easier because he's the son of a politician, the president. Not necessarily, he's not going to be necessarily in that position for his whole life. Like, there are term limits, right? Henry doesn't, and he has to, like, keep up the pretense of being the perfect prince of, you know, England, of the UK. Like, what's his title again? I forget. Anyway, so the situation is a little bit different, but it does revolve around their relationship not being found out and their sexual orientation not being found out until it is. And they're outed, and it's a mess. But the thing I liked about this, which is also something I like about Young Royals, is that it's not just about being outed. It's about the feelings that lead up to that point. There's a lot of focus on everything before that and everything after that. Not plot-wise, but character-wise. And I really enjoyed this. Even though it takes a different spin on it than Young Royals does, because Young Royals is a lot angstier because it's a drama. This is more rom-commy, and, you know, everything's gonna be alright and whatever. But I feel like there was a good balance of that drama introduced by the outing and by just the stress of having to keep the relationship hidden, and their romance and the moments where they could just be themselves and enjoy their relationship no matter what was happening around them. And I really think that's a good thing. Now, again, it's still an outing storyline, so, like, I wish we could move on from that. I wish that wasn't necessary anymore at this point. I wish we could just write about LGBTQ people being happy, or, you know, if there's drama, there be drama for other reasons that are not the fact that they're outed. But, you know, I think the balance in this was good. And like I said, because I was looking for something a little less stressful because of the state of the world when I was reading it, I think it gave me what I wanted, which is not something that was going to make me angsty, that was going to make me, like, suffer, but just a relationship between two people that I could really enjoy, you know? See them falling in love little by little. And I think that was done very well, because you could really believe that through the interactions they'd had, they did fall in love little by little, and it was really sweet. I really, really loved that. The whole thing with the emails is a little bit kind of on the nose, because, you know, after 2016, all the jokes made about emails, email servers, and emails getting leaked, that kind of still hurts, I'm not gonna lie. But I like the idea of incorporating the emails into the storyline. I thought it would be annoying, because I already knew, of course, because of the Young Royals fandom spoilers, I guess. I already knew that their emails were gonna leak. So I thought that I would find the email conversations very annoying. I didn't. The one complaint I have about that storyline is that it happened really late in the book, honestly. Like, I thought the leak was going to be not bigger, but like more relevant to the plot of the book, but it happened nearly like 3/4 of the way down. Which, don't get me wrong, again, I really appreciate the slow development of the relationship, because we got to see them in their good moments, and we got to see them interacting sweetly like any other couple, and falling in love little by little. That is good. The thing is, it felt like the leak was dealt with really quickly because it happened so late in the book. So I almost wish we'd gotten a little less email correspondence and a little more resolution of that, because it seemed a little bit too easy. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I don't like it when the main obstacle, the main event of the book, the main thing that happens to like oppose the romance that is building, happens too late in the game and it gets solved too easily. I don't like it when it happens like that. And this one felt a little bit like it. I don't mind it too much because I like the build-up, but maybe that's one of those things where I shouldn't have been spoiled and I should have been smarter about this, but too late now, I guess. But like, the entire time I was reading, I was just waiting for the emails to leak, and then they didn't, and I kept waiting, and they didn't, and I kept waiting, and it's like, when is this gonna happen? And when it happened late, and it got solved with like a conversation. I don't know, I wish it had been a bit more than that. Maybe that's just me because I had it spoiled for me early. But like, I think it was, even if I hadn't known that the emails were gonna leak, McQuiston dropped quite a few ambitious hints that it was coming. You know, the whole 2016 thing, the references to email servers. Like, I'm not dumb, I follow politics. I knew, I would have figured out that a leak was coming somehow, you know? So like, I still feel like even someone who didn't know what was gonna happen would still kind of get what was gonna happen, you know? So that's one little complaint that I have about this book. My other complaint, and this is very personal to me, but I feel like when I finished reading the book, I was a little bit like deflated, you know? Mostly because I felt, and I still feel that way, it's weird, because like, usually if I read a book that I really like, or watch a TV show or watch a movie or whatever that I really like, I will find myself like reading fanfic for it within a day, usually. Like, I would just start reading all the fics. That's what I did with Young Royals, of course. And I would be making fic, I would be starting to have ideas for fic, I would be like making edits and stuff. That's usually a sign that I really got into something. And I thought I would have that with Red, White, and Royal Blue, but I didn't. Like, up until today, 2 months after I finished the book, I still have not read any fic. And it's kind of weird because I did like the book. Like, it's not, I don't know how to explain it, but like, it didn't bring that forth in me to just want to get all the content, you know, which is what usually happens when I really fall in love with something. And I think a lot of it's not that I didn't like the book, because I've already said I loved it. It was lovely and it was just what I needed at the moment, but also the ending left me feeling a little and I don't, it's not because of the story of Alex and Henry, because I love that part. I love that they ended up together. I love that they're gonna move to New York and like live together. That's great. The thing is, I don't think I needed the election. And that might be a little bit personal to myself, because like I said, I follow politics, especially US politics, because that's generally speaking what I get on TV. So like, I get really really into the whole presidential election cycle to the point of obsession. Like, I'm literally just watching it all day, every day, when there's an election coming. And I guess I almost have like PTSD from it nowadays. Like, I will watch it when it's happening in real life. I don't need it in my media. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so stressful to me. And I knew that Alex's mom was gonna win. Obviously, I'd been spoiled for it, but I'm like, I did not need the entire lead up to it. I did not need the election night like speech. I did not need like the electoral college counts. I did not need that. Just tell me she won. That's all I need. And I felt like that last part of it was just really unnecessary. Like, I did not need that. So when I was done reading it, I was like, huh. You know what I mean? Like, if it had finished like the chapter prior to that, if that had been the ending, and then just have like a quick note at the end telling me, you know, she won the election, Henry, you know, decided to take over the whole thing in New York, and him and Alex are gonna move there together to a brownstone, like half a paragraph, I would have been ecstatic. I did not need the whole drama leading up to that really reveal, you know. It's so, I don't know, it may be a thing where it just hits me that way, but like after I was done with the book, I was like, okay, that's that, great, I guess I don't need anything more. You know. And I haven't been reading fanfic or like even getting involved in the fandom at all, which I think was weird because, again, everybody in the Young Royals fandom seems to really love this. And I feel weird that I am not like completely obsessed with it, but I did like the book. I loved this book. It was really good. I can understand why people get so like into it. I think the characters are amazing. The plot was good, even though it was an outing plot, and I wish we didn't have those anymore. I enjoyed it because it focused on their feelings before and after, and not necessarily on the outing itself, which I really appreciate, because what I wanted from this was a fic about two dudes falling in love, and I got that. And they're great, and Alex, I love Henry. Nora is me, basically. And it's so beautiful too, because like the way they fell in love was so gradual, and then like all in. And I really like that. And I think my favorite section of this book was in one of the emails, and it was Henry, because I'm a hopeless romantic, I guess. Don't tell anybody, it's a secret. Anyway, it was in one of Henry's emails, and I would like to like read it because it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Just remember when I said that this book is a little bit superficial, in the sense that it doesn't go too deep into like anything really, but it's just about the romance, and you know, and that's what it is, and it doesn't pretend to be more than what it is. It's a romance book, that's all it is, and it's not like something that I would sit down and analyze like all the metaphors and the language used and the syntactic choices, and no, that's not something. You read this book for entertainment, and that's perfectly okay, and I really loved that for that reason. But there's this one segment in one of Henry's emails where he talks about the first time he met Alex, and that shit was freaking poetic. Okay, I think that may be one of the reasons why I really just adore Henry so much. But like the way that he wrote that, the way that McQuiston wrote that, is just freaking, it got to my soul. You know, and I would like to read it to you. Please excuse my horrible British accent. I am not an actor. But the thing is, when I have British characters in my books, I sort of have to I have to read it with the accent, and my British accent's really bad. Like, I can barely speak like English with my regular accent, I guess. So like every time I try to sound like a Brit, I'm like, what is this? But I can't help it. I have to read it with an English, with a British accent. So yeah, I would like to read it for you, because I love this part. It's so good. Like, I have it highlighted, as you can see. I highlight my books, in case you didn't know. I highlight my favorite passages, but yeah, let's read it. This is from page 299 of my paperback copy. So, sometimes I imagine moving to New York to take over Launching Pest's youth shelter there. Just leaving, not coming back. Maybe burning something down on the way out. It would be nice. Here's an idea. Do you know, I've realized I've never actually told you what I thought the first time we met. You see, for me, memories are difficult. Very often, they hurt. The curious thing about grief is the way it takes your entire life, all those foundational years that made you who you are, and makes them so painful to look back upon because of the absence there, that suddenly they're inaccessible. You must invent an entirely new system. I started to think of myself and my life and my whole lifetime worth of memories as all the dark, dusty rooms of Buckingham Palace. I took the night Bea left rehab, and I begged her to take it seriously, and I put it in a room with pink peonies on the wallpaper and a golden harp in the center of the floor. I took my first time with one of my brother's mates from uni when I was 17, and I found the smallest, most cramped little broom cupboard I could muster, and I shoved it in. I took my father's last night, the way his face went slack, the smell of his hands, the fever, the waiting and terrible waiting, and the even worse not waiting anymore. And I found the biggest room, a ballroom, wide open and dark, windows drawn and covered, locked the doors. But the first time I saw you, Rio, I took that down to the gardens. I pressed it into the leaves of a silver maple and recited it to the Waterloo vase. It didn't fit in any rooms. We were talking with Nora and June, happy and animated and fully alive. A person living in dimensions I couldn't access and so beautiful. Your hair was longer then. You weren't even a present son yet, but you weren't afraid. You had a yellow Ipe Amarello in your pocket. I thought, this is the most incredible thing I have ever seen, and I had better keep it a safe distance away from me. I thought if someone like that ever loved me, it would set me on fire. And then I was a careless fool and I fell in love with you anyway. When you rang me at truly shocking hours of the night, I loved you. When you kissed me in disgusting public toilets and pouted in hotel bars and made me happy in ways in which it had never even occurred to me that a mangled up, locked up person like me could be happy. I loved you. And then inexplicably, you had the absolute audacity to love me back. Can you believe it? Sometimes even now I still can't. So yeah, that's freaking poetry. I'm just saying, this dude, is there any, like, I'm getting oh god, I'm getting chills. I'm like, how could I not, like, Alex fell in love with him, so how was I not going to fall in love with him? You know what I mean? Like, I have to. So yeah, I think that one excerpt from the book sort of elevated it a little bit. Like, look at me. I watch YA for I read YA like nobody's business. Like, it's my favorite genre. I watch shows for teenagers. I watch movies for, like, I'm not putting down YA at all. But this book specifically was something I picked up, not because it was going to be, you know, deep and existential, but because it was going to be, like, fun and sweet and give me something where I didn't have to think too much about, like, humanity and the way that we process our feelings and stuff. Like, I was not expecting depth from this book, and that segment, that excerpt that I just read, very, very, very bad British accent, is poetry. It was unexpected for me in this book, and I feel like I appreciate McQuiston more for it. I don't know if I should be appreciating Henry or Casey McQuiston. I guess at this point it's kind of the same thing, but like, I wasn't expecting that, and it hit me really hard. This idea of, like, locking up memories in different rooms blew my mind, because I'm the queen of compartmentalization, and I do that, generally speaking, so I can forget about things. And I never really thought about it that way, but it makes a lot of sense, and I really, really appreciate that, even in a book where I wasn't expecting to get that sort of thing. It was lovely. I could read like an entire book of just like that, of just that kind of stuff. It's lovely. Like, Henry should write for sure. Like, he should write for a living. Love that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say about this book. I really enjoyed it. I don't know that I don't know if I'm going to read Casey McQuiston's other books. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but like I really liked it, so why not? I don't know. Recommend something to me, guys. I know she had another one that wasn't as popular. If you guys liked it, let me know. So yeah, I don't know, I expect to have a lot of things coming in this vlog. Hopefully I will have time to do it, because I was planning to do because I haven't done any Stranger Things videos in a while, so we had a trailer come out this week, and I was going to do like a trailer frame by frame analysis. It does take a long time, and I don't know if I'm gonna have I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do it. And I mean, if I do have time, by the time I post it, it would probably, like, already the hype would die down. So I'm thinking maybe I won't do it, and I'll just wait until the first half of the season comes out to just review it directly, because less than 50 days, guys. Let's go. I'm so excited. It looks so good. So yeah, I guess maybe I won't do it and just wait for the actual review. The Heartstopper show, TV show, is coming out on Netflix on Thursday, I believe. You know, on the night from Thursday to Friday, so it's like Friday afternoon for me or something. I fully expect to do like a review video that I will upload here for that, because I'm gonna binge through it. It looks like the cutest shit, you guys. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I read the actual comics in like one sitting last week. Like, I just sat there. I started at like 10 at night and went until like 3 in the morning and just read the whole thing. And it's the cutest shit. I cannot wait for that show. So I'm probably gonna binge it and then do a review. But I'm also thinking that I may do like reactions to the episodes, because I don't know, I've been thinking about that, and I definitely know that I want to do that for Young Royals when season 2 comes out, which is filming right now, so that will be exciting. But I think I might do that for Heartstopper. I might post the first reaction, like to like the first episode, depending on how much of a reaction I have, you know, like how interesting my reactions are. I may post like reactions to the first episode, or maybe the first 2 episodes here in public, and then post the rest like in private to my Patreon page. So let me know if you guys are interested, because, you know, if nobody cares about reactions, then I'll just not do it, probably. But I'm thinking I might. I probably will binge through the whole thing on Sunday. So yeah, pretty much, you know, this is an option that we can do. And then I also I do still have another Young Royals video that I wanted to do, so that will probably after that, but we'll see. If anything comes up in Young Royals, I definitely will. But after that, it will probably just be like the Stranger Things review for the first half of the season, because we're getting 2 drops this season, which is super interesting, and I'm really excited. So if you guys have any ideas you want me to talk about, just let me know. In the meantime, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you like my stuff, please subscribe to my channel. I'm always happy to see people sharing and liking and commenting and subscribing. It really does help me a lot with the YouTube algorithms. I'm trying to get this channel to grow. I know I don't update nearly enough as much as I should, because I have no time, but I'm trying, and I hope you like my stuff. So please let me know by sharing and commenting and liking and subscribing. I love you guys for that. You're all great. You can find me on social media. I am on Twitter and Instagram at girlsaweird with underscores between the words, and I am on Tumblr at girlsaweird with hyphens between the words. You can find a Facebook page for this blog at facebook.com/FreakingNarnia, and as usual, you can visit my main website at FreakingNarnia.com/vlog, that's VLOG, where you will find all my videos that I've uploaded. In case you missed anything and want to catch up, it's all in there, so be sure to visit. Also, remember, I have a Redbubble store where I make art based on my favorite quotes from my favorite fandoms. I may do a red, white, and royal blue one soonish, I hope, probably based on that email I read you because it's amazing and it doesn't get enough love. But anyway, be sure to check that out. You can use that art that I make to print on different kinds of merchandise, such as coffee cups, computer covers, all kinds of cool stuff in there. So be sure to check that out. Maybe purchase something if you're in the mood. It really does help me a lot. Also remember that if you want to have these episodes of Talks from Freaking Narnia in podcast form, like if podcasts are more your thing, all episodes go up on my Patreon on the exact same day they go up on YouTube. So if that's more your thing, then you want to subscribe to my Patreon. There's different tiers. I also have another tier where I have extra videos. That's generally speaking where the Heartstopper reactions would go if I do decide to do them. So like, you want to stay tuned to my Patreon. Subscribe if you can. If subscriptions are not your thing and you would rather just have like a one-time donation kind of thing for a specific extra video, then my Ko-fi is for you. All the links are down in the description, by the way, but like on Ko-fi you just donate once, and on the little note for the donation you tell me, well, I want this donation to be for this video, and then I'll get back to you with a link to the video. So hopefully if that's more your thing, you can do that instead. And yeah, I think that's everything I had to say about this book. I will see you guys next time, which will probably be the Heartstopper TV show review or reaction, whatever happens first, I guess. If I do reactions, I'm still not sure. Let me know in a comment if you're interested. And I will see you guys next time with another video from all the way in freaking Narnia. Bye bye. This is my vlog. English speakers, please. Sorry. English speakers. Stop it. Use the world. What? My window open.